Previously on Deck of Many Aces. Obviously, you're not a graviturge, so you can't, read it in depth, but you have a basic understanding of how this stuff works, and so you can see when she kind of points the rod away from Iona, the numbers kind of stabilize and they stop and they go to a zero.
I want to point at Raina. I'm like, can you put that thing in Raina?
Yeah, sure. And it goes back to baseline when she's kind of going between them, but then it doesn't fluctuate as wildly as Iona's is, but it's kind of very gently going up and down in waves.
You have the mark of them, I can tell.
Excuse me?
On your left wrist, just slightly creeping up your arm, is a strange, mottled, purplish rot.
Moralta, what are you doing here?
Dad, it's you!
Welcome to Deck of Many Aces, an actual play podcast made with actual Aromantics. Only one or two of you ever come through at a time, and so it just sounds like one of you is really keen and no one else is interested. We are a group of people who identify as somewhere on the aromantic and or asexual spectrum, playing 5th edition D&D with a twist. Every character's past, present, and future is based on a card drawn from the deck of many things. I am Ellie. I use she, her pronouns, and I will be your DM today. Your demisexual Montenegro?
Oh, fancy.
An entire country.
An entire country. Hell yeah.
They're all demi now.
You will never escape.
Yeah.
This is the agenda.
Agenda?
Yeah.
Oh, yes!
That's
That's so good. It took a second for that to sink in for me.
I don't think I came up with that. That's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a me thing.
No.
Yeah, but it's
I
funny.
know. It is great, though. Would you all like to introduce yourselves?
Hello, my name is Am, and I play Battle Master Fighter Tosia Atherdale, who uses she, her pronouns. Tosia's vibing. That's I've got nothing to add. She's just enjoying this new place.
Acting real posh, though.
Yeah. It's very much I feel like she has done some ridiculously over the top greeting to the tree, which she thinks is respectful, but she just looks stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Chloe, and I play Raina Riftwood, who is a tabaxi bard, and also, just vibing. We're in Delphi territory now. There's not much to say about us.
This is Delphi's backstory time. We're just going to sit this out for a little bit and just watch.
I'm Eiriol. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm playing Delphi, the Growfolk Warlock, who is not vibing, not simply vibing.
Delphi's dad just turned up. That must be awkward. Dad, stop embarrassing me in front of the adventurers.
She hasn't seen her dad for a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
I thought that you out of this can get cut out. I thought that you both were out. I can't say any of this because it's all redacted. I thought you were both out having a nice trip when the thing happened.
I think of that happening a while ago, not quite a while ago, not just before the joining thingy.
Okay.
Aromantic. I don't know. We can figure this out. This just doesn't have to be a. She hasn't seen her dad in quite a while.
She hasn't seen her dad in a while.
Background sounds of Ellie rewriting plot.
I was going to say, I'm like, oh god, brain. Oh.
Hi, I'm Katie. I use she, her, or they, them pronouns, and I am playing the wizard Morgan, which sounds suddenly like the phrasing they use in one of the fantasy books of is it the wizard Howl?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I'm playing the wizard Morgan.
It did sound to start with like you were playing like a minor character in a play. It's like I'm Katie and I'm playing the wizard.
The wizard. Yes.
Morgan is also simply vibing, but vibing in a way of like kind of subtly trying to point the gravimeter at things and people just to kind of see what kind of things it does.
That is an excellent image to have, like just a mental image to have of what's happening in the background.
It's not that you're embarrassing Delphi, but you are definitely you've got someone being way too posh and someone like pointing scientific equipment at everyone. It's like
she's trying to do it subtly. I don't know whether she'll succeed.
This is Morgan with -2 charisma we're talking about.
But my sleight of hand is, I think, better than that.
Fair enough.
I've got +4 to sleight of hand. My dex is good, so. And +4 to stealth, so I think I'm doing quite well, actually, at secretly taking readings off of random people.
Speaking of secretly taking readings off of random people, what happened last time?
Okay, I was wondering where you're going with that.
So did I.
Actually not that much, because it's a transition episode between us doing cool stuff.
Leveled up.
We leveled up. We said goodbye to the people in Adavan Lovers and Felicity, and that we got some cash, which Morgan's happy about. Finally, some real cash.
Money.
We took a detour through the spicy forest, and Delphi's dad just showed up. Do I miss anything?
No, that was pretty comprehensive.
Taz wants a magic hammer, but
oh yeah, Taz wants a magic hammer. Yeah, picking up where you left off.
Dad!
Yeah, Delphi's... Peralta, what are you doing here?
It was the fastest route back to Orbis through...
Oh my goodness, are these your friends?
Wait, are we
colleagues.
Here? Oh, the rest of us here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Hi, I'm Delphi's dad. It's great to meet you.
Morgan curtsies.
Tazia also curtsies.
Oh god.
Oh, Raina would go for a handshake.
Cool. Yeah. I think. Does Delphi's dad have a name?
They did. I've forgotten what it is.
Do you want me to pull up a random fantasy name generator?
No, because I have
it's got a name.
Growfolk name.
Get yourself.
Oh, of course.
There's a very specific Growfolk naming convention.
Get in the Growfolk naming conventions.
I think while Aria's looking it up, Tazia's probably like excitedly telling Delphi's dad all about like the adventures they've been on and like really bigging up Delphi and how helpful she's been and how she is.
Excellent.
Oh.
Melt. Spelled MELTE. I will.
Melty.
Melt.
You've named your dad Melt?
Yes. I didn't name him that. But no way, I did.
Melt.
But in Reunites, I didn't.
Yeah. Oh my god. So he introduced. He's like, "Hi, I'm Melt. I'm really pleased to meet you. I would say I've heard so much about you. I mean, I haven't had a lot of correspondence from Delphi, but I've been very excited to hear about what you were all getting up to. It's so exciting."
Delphi is an invaluable member of our team.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's so kind. Is she using her skills in botany at all?
Botany?
No, like magic.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'm.
Delphi would be like, it's just a mistranslation. It's fine.
Oh god. Yeah, he looks at you kind of confused and then is like, then kind of shrugs it off.
Yeah.
Also, just to give like a description of this guy, he's like very similar looking to Delphi, but like taller and a little bit broader, but not much broader. He's still quite kind of skinny. But the biggest difference is that he seems to have like way more kind of branches, and the bark of his skin is like a little bit kind of it looks a bit sort of tougher and a bit kind of more aged.
I mean, he would also be like 7'8" or something. He'd be significantly taller.
He's a
than
tall
Delphi.
boy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like peering down at all of you. Yeah. So how long are you in Cowity?
Very
not
briefly,
long, just
I think.
stopping off. But you should talk to Raina, and Delphi will like point at Raina and be like,
Me?
Yes. Well, we discussed it a while back. My dad has been going to Attis Orbis for decades.
Oh goodness, yes. That's me, Chloe, forgetting, not Raina.
Yeah. You thought you were going to be simply vibing? No, baby.
No, simply vibing for me.
Delphi backstory time? No. Raina backstory time.
Reverse Uno card.
Reverse Uno. Yeah, Melt turns to you and says, "Oh, I haven't been in a couple of years, but it's a lovely city. It's a really, really interesting place. So did you grow up there?"
Yeah. But there's been a bit of some stuff happen of the magic variety. I assume. So yeah, I did grow up there, but it was 70 so years ago, and I haven't. I've been back there since like a couple months ago. I don't know timescales in this game. I'm sorry. Yeah,
It was a week or so ago.
but I guess. I mean, you would have. Delphi was saying that you might have seen it sort of when I was growing up and sort of how it sort of changed and stuff. And I'd just be interested to know what you saw.
Yeah, and Melt looks at Delphi. 70 years is a long time?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
She's not 70 years old though. She's only...
Oh, I'm 19.
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
A baby.
You're a babe, yes. Okay.
You know how they grow
right.
differently.
Yeah, well, I always forget how, it's just their lifespans are just so short, it's like weird.
And yours is so long. Like I was saying to Delphi, like we might all die and Delphi'd still be alive, and we'd be like, dead of. Oh, sorry. She's uncomfortable when I talk about it.
Yes, well, I mean, unfortunately, that's one of the difficulties with living outside the city is that you're surrounded by people who just don't last as long as we do. But anyway, so you're 19 now.
Yeah.
And you've been gone where? 70 years?
Well, yeah, that's the issue, really. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'd be happy to talk to you. But so that was what around what, the year 3000?
I wrote all of this down. I have no idea where I wrote it down.
I'm on the Dawn of World
clue.
minutes, which I do find hilarious because I'm pretty sure that the Spicy Forest was only technically created in the year 3,400.
It doesn't.
Oh yeah, no. I think that timescale is off by a long way as well.
It's the year 3,500.
We have
Yeah.
Raina born 3486.
Yeah. Cool. So it would have been around what, the year 3500?
Yeah, roughly.
Wow. Wow, so you've missed a lot, yeah. Well, I mean, what did you? What can I tell you? How can I help? I'm going a bit Cockney. No, Ellie. I don't know what this man's accent is, but it's not Cockney.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't either, so it's fine.
Woo.
Well, I guess, like, when I went there, a lot of stuff had kind of changed, and there's a lot of, like, what was it, touristy stuff and all of that. And, well, I just wondered if you knew kind of how that came about and stuff like that. I'm sorry, I would have prepared you some questions, but someone, and gives like a sidelong glance at Delphi, it was like, forgot to warn me that we were doing this.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I mean, my memory's a bit patchy, but I'm sure I can help. Well, yeah, you missed a lot. So basically, well, it's quite interesting actually. Do you want to? Oh, you guys can't drink our tea.
No, but I've got water.
Right. Okay. Well, never mind then. We'll just sit down somewhere, and there's a little kind of enclosed kind of like, it's like an outdoor eating area for like several different restaurants.
Like a mall.
And no, like do you remember in Cardiff, like opposite the castle, where there was just that long stretch of like outdoor food?
That was so good.
During the pandemic. So good. I want it forever. So it's like kind of, it's not really sheltered because the trees kind of give enough kind of sheltering from the weather anyway, I would say. Eiriol, do you think that stands to reason? But it's like a kind of an enclosed area where there's lots of like families, there's like some young saplings running around, and...
Did you just call baby grow folk saplings?
Yeah, what else would I call them? Come on! Melt sits down and like kind of pulls out a little flask of tea, and he kind of pours some into a cup, and he's like, would you like any, Delphi?
I'm good, actually. Okay, out of character very quickly. I was considering, like, leaving them to it and going and visiting Delphi's old, like, workshop, but that doesn't even need to be a scene. It can just be, like, she goes and visits the place she spent a lot of time, and then comes back and, like, takes people with her to do other stuff.
Sick. Okay, cool. Yeah. You can wander off. See, I love this because you guys were all like, oh yeah, I can just sit back and chill in this point, and now Eiriol's like, I'm gonna dip.
Yeah.
See you later.
Can I just grab Delphi as she's like just wandering off? Hey, I don't want to intrude or anything, but your dad seemed pretty bummed that you weren't, keeping in contact, and I write my dad letters everywhere we go, so I thought I could just copy paste and send them to him just so he has an update about what you're doing.
Copy and paste?
Yeah, I could just copy the letter again to let your dad know what we were doing. I don't have to. If it's weird, I won't do it, but
this is genuinely horrifying. Out of character.
Yeah, I know, that's why I decided to do it, because I was like, this is exactly what Toz would do. It's so intrusive and inappropriate, but she's going to do it.
I actually think it's kind of adorable.
I need to do something. I'll get back to you, and then, like, walks off quite quickly.
Okay.
She's not, like... By the way, like, if people want to go with her, they can. It's just she's not going to cordially invite anyone.
Toz is hanging out with Delphi's dad because she really misses her dad. She needs the dad energy.
Are you just stealing her dad?
You wouldn't steal a dad.
No.
Insight check on Am.
Yeah.
Am steals every parental figure in TTRPG that she comes across. That's a lie.
Wow, that was put out of character, buddy.
We'll cut back to Melt and who's like
Raina.
excitedly saying, so basically, I think probably around when you left was, do you remember hearing about the flood in Antibra?
Oh gosh. Chloe doesn't. Maybe Raina
I
does.
can't remember when the Antibra flood was, but...
I'm just trying to...
It is you would have been alive, but you might not have been aware of it because you were at sea and like you weren't necessarily. This is like kind of global affairs, but it's like, you know, it's like you only find out about, like, you know...
It's Kat finding out about the end of World War II. It's that level of, like, Captain America finding out about, like, the end of World War II and, like, 9/11 and all of that stuff is like, what is going on? I've missed so much stuff happening.
Well, actually, I would say it's more like because of the kind of time frame of the of this specific event with the flooding. It's more like only finding out that there was an earthquake in Haiti like a few years after it happened. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's information that you might have had, but it's also information that might have passed you by.
Yeah.
At the time. Carry on.
I don't know. I mean, I was, I'm a sailor, you see, or well, I used to be. So, we didn't get a lot of news when we weren't on land.
Wow, sailing, that's so exciting. That's so interesting. Wow, Delphi's really picked some lovely friends. This is so interesting. Right, so yes, I was trying to tell you about, oh my gosh, what did you miss? So, around 3500, there was a big flood in Antibra, and nobody could really figure out why at first. But then we found out that there's some sort of thing, some kind of eldritch being just living in the waters. It's still there. They're just trying to kind of ignore it as best as they can. But it's really.
Ellie, I've got the world-building document open, but I'm just trying to.
I think that's the other waters you're thinking of.
No, I'm just trying to kind of get a vibe of, like, did we have, like, weird, like...
We did do this.
Magic-y stuff, kind of... No, I know we did it, but I'm like, did we have kind of weird magic-y stuff happening throughout the whole thing, or did they, like, kind of start later on? Because otherwise, Raina's going to be like, I left and everything went weird.
Well, I like that we have named this abomination Grar.
Yeah.
Was that in that? See, I thought that was in the one near... Or, wait, I just ignore me, I'm tired.
It's in the one opposite, on the opposite side from
Yeah, I would say weird things were definitely happening. It's just maybe they weren't documented, or maybe not to the same sort of scale. World building, when we truncate it massively, is weird, and a lot of stuff has happened in, like, the last century. But I kind of feel like maybe part of that is kind of like the whole, you know, I don't know, for me it feels like a lot of stuff happened in the 20th century, and then, like, previous centuries all kind of blend together, even though clearly stuff happened a lot in every century.
Proximity, isn't it?
It's proximity.
Relevant to your life. Yeah. So Melt is essentially trying to explain to you the equivalent of 2 world wars, the women getting the right to vote, the civil rights movement,
the internet,
the AIDS crisis, the internet, like the decriminalization of homosexuality and like countries. The impact that 9/11 had on the socio-political international relations. The moon landings. Like, this is like, it's a lot of history to cover.
Globalization as a whole concept being like, usable,
which is kind of like idea. Honestly an equivalence of this place of this world, is that, like, I would say that this is a world that it has recently been globalized within the last 100 years. Back into it. What a good world building tangent.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's all right. So, the Catgirl city that you remember is probably really is quite different then, quite less industrialized, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly just a port.
Yeah.
Place people came to live, to stop off, maybe sell some goods, you know.
Well, they kind of built on that port idea, and they ended up making a navy, the one arguably the best in the world, and they did lots and lots of Hello, are we equating Catgirl City to the UK with all of its terrible capitalist principles and morals? Maybe.
Maybe.
They did a lot of exploration, and that was when kind of first contact started happening really between the sort of southeast and the southwest, because they were usually quite kind of separated by the ocean and stuff. So they went to war with the elves, and
wait, they went to war?
Yeah, you missed a war.
Why?
Well, I mean, I don't want to get too political with you, but because I don't want to be, offensive or anything. But I would say that the needs of the city weren't really being taken into consideration. It was more the greed of the people in charge who wanted to kind of expand and saw a developing city that they could have command over. Yeah.
Right.
So, sorry to break it to you. Gosh, that must be such a difficult thing to come across. Anyway, yeah, well, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, you guys lost.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So that's kind of where all of the new Atasorbers kind of started, is that the Tabaxi and the elves became allies, and basically they would exchange soldiers and boats for jewelry that they could then sell, and so now those two are great allies. So really it had a net positive, even if it was not a great way to come into it. But yeah, that's...
Well, to be honest, don't sound like much changed at the heart of things anyway.
To be honest, when you see the world in the way that Delphi and I do, you can... Sometimes it seems like the world is rushing past, particularly when you spend so much time in this forest. Which is why I think Buralta always had the urge to explore outside of it. But, well, ultimately, not much changes on in the outside world. That's why, we're trying to make it better in here as much as we can.
How so? Are you working on something?
Oh, well, I mean, we're trying to open up our society to the world a little bit more. We're trying to invite some more people in, which we've historically not really been for, because because of the war and the capitalism and the
trying to keep them from dying and eating your food, I guess.
Yeah, that too. It's not really the best place to live if you're not a grow folk. But we're trying to open things up now and get things a little bit more open, because, I mean, honestly, once accommodations are made for people, this place is a paradise. I know not everyone sees it that way, but it really is.
I can see that. I mean, paradise don't need to be paradise for everyone, does it? That'd be boring.
That's very true. I certainly don't think it was paradise for Delphi.
What makes you say that?
Oh, well, I don't think it ever interested her enough to stay. She's got her sights set on bigger things, and I'm absolutely for that. I don't think that this place is big enough to capture her imagination or her spirit. I think she needs to go out and explore and meet wonderful people like you, to truly get the most out of her long life.
That I can understand. Tell me, has Delphi ever been on a ship?
Not to my knowledge.
Then we gotta make that change, I think.
Eiriol?
Oh no, Delphi's never even seen a ship. Let me be the one.
Raina has a new goal, and it's get Delphi on a boat ride.
She's gonna throw up continuously.
Yeah, Raina's gonna be like, you're gonna love it, it's gonna be so great, and Delphi's gonna have a terrible
pure
time.
Vomit. That's it.
Amazing. No, I don't think I've ever been on a boat.
Well, I think we're gonna have to change that. If she's looking for adventure, then look no further than the open sea.
Well, it sounds really exciting. I'm glad that you're all getting along so well and that she's made such good friends.
Me too.
Delphi's dad is so nice, even though his name is Melt.
What? That's a good name. Good
Melt. Yeah. Okay.
Slander.
Hey everyone, it's Ellie here. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. If you are, please consider checking out our supporter Acast link. This is like a virtual tip jar where you can just give us a little bit of a thank you in financial form. We obviously accept thank yous in non-financial forms, and you are in no way obligated to do this. It would just be a nice cool thing. All the proceeds of that go towards things like making a web domain, investing in merch, and also compensating the lovely, lovely PCs that I have on this show, because they're great, and they deserve all the love and all the riches in the world. You can find that at supporter.acast.com/deck of many aces, with spaces in between the words. There's also a link right at the bottom of the episode description. Also, do you have a podcast, TTRPG product, or Twitch stream that you think that the listeners of this podcast might be interested in? If you do, then why not use this space to advertise it? If you're interested in advertising your product here, get in contact with us at deckofmanyaces@gmail.com. Enjoy the rest of the show!
Do you think Delphi would have come back at this point?
Yeah, probably at this point, and be like, "Hey, by the way, we need to get going soon."
Oh yes,
Okay.
you guys are probably very, very busy. I won't keep you any longer.
Well, thank you so much. You've been very, very helpful.
Oh, no
It was
problem.
really nice to meet you.
It's been lovely to reminisce. It's and so nice to meet all of you and see who Delphi's spending her time with. I'm really glad that you all seem to be looking after each other and having a good time out there and enjoying adventuring.
Yeah, that's the plan for the most part.
I love how all this time, Raina could have just asked Morgan or Toz about the history, the recent history of Catgirl City, and just never did. I think a war would have come up if she'd asked at any point, but no.
Yeah, I think though she was more looking because Delphi's dad would have been to the city at the time that she'd known it and not been there and experienced it, and I think that was what she was kind of going for. Which is why she wouldn't have asked Morgan or
Still,
Toz.
an entire war.
Also, she's dumb.
Yeah, that also.
Delphi, can I speak to you quickly?
Yes.
Just before you head off.
I'll meet you at the tree.
Okay, don't get lost.
I'll be fine.
Lovely to meet you all again. All right, I'm gonna ask everybody to deafen themselves, please.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh, okay. We're doing that.
Oh,
Okay, I'm muting myself. Wait 1 second.
I didn't want to mention this in front of your friends because I don't know. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I can just. Sorry, you say something.
I'm, just busy. Lots of stuff going on.
It's just, well, I can smell something on you, something rotten.
I no idea what you're talking about. Yes.
I'm gonna get him to do an insight check because he's your dad.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but parents are either really easy to lie to or really hard to lie to.
Do you want me to roll deception?
Yeah, could you roll deception actually?
Oh god. Oh my god, that is a 5-2, baby.
I mean, he rolled a 10, so he didn't even roll super well, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, -1, not -2. For 4.
Yeah, so Delphi's a terrible liar.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes, he stares at you and says, "Now, come on, Morelta. Tell me what's wrong. Maybe I can fix it. Listen, I'm not going to be angry.
It will be fine. And it's not something that you can fix.
I wouldn't be so sure of that. You never know. Some good tea leaves and some medicinal properties might help.
I promise you, I will be safe. But you cannot fix this.
Well, I mean, you're a grown-up now, and as much as that worries me, and it makes me a little bit concerned. I respect that. Please look after yourself and make sure you're doing okay. Okay?
Of course.
All right.
And they'll hug them and then rush off because they're probably late at this point.
Yeah. Safe travels.
You too.
I do like I'm listening to evil chuckles.
Do you all ever think about how Delphi is the only one we have to deafen for constantly?
She's the warlock.
Yeah,
What did you
Is she
expect?
a warlock or one of the warlocks?
She's got all
Only
the
time will
secrets.
tell.
Ellie, don't automatically mute my track while you guys are talking when you first edit, because I sang you a little song.
Aww. Okay, I'll listen to the little song.
I also did just watch TikToks.
Very valid. Okay, so Delphi runs to catch up with the rest of you. So and enough time has passed now that Tamara is kind of waiting at the bottom of the tree and is like, "Everything all right? You
Yeah,
guys are a
sorry
little bit
about
late."
Met into someone that I knew.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Right, shall we press on?
Sounds good.
Oh, I want to say that Morgan has spent like a couple of gold on some like random art object, just something totally useless.
Pruning shears, pruning shears, pruning
Yeah,
shears.
the thing is, you think they're an art object. They're probably something completely like.
It's you know that cartoon, the cow tools.
Yes, cow tools.
I have two questions. The first being, is there any souvenir stuff here that I can buy? The second one is, can we buy it or can we just take it? Because Delphi didn't understand money.
Only does.
Can we theft?
So can we? Can we just take stuff? Do we have to buy things?
Allowed? Am I allowed to steal?
But like Delphi didn't understand what money was, which implies they don't use money here.
She didn't understand how much quantity of money was, which might just be Delphi being financially irresponsible.
Yeah, it's also, you have no idea whether this is Delphi or Growfolk in general. All of the things I'm saying are just Delphi. Whether they're...
Can I buy a souvenir?
I'm pretty sure Eiriol said that there weren't any sort of souvenir stands to my recollection, but I think you can buy something like ball bearings or pruning shears that looks like a souvenir but is absolutely 100% functional in Growfolk society.
Okay, cool. I will buy that. And also because I bought a souvenir in the last place, I've marked my gold down 5 just for the total of both of them.
That's
Is that
brilliant.
alright?
Raina's just looking at the houses a lot while they're waiting. Because that's what Delphi and Raina were talking about.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's so soft. Okay, so you all sort of start to head out of the Growfolk city, and Eiriol? Not Eiriol. Delphi.
Eiriol suddenly finds herself in cave.
Delphi leads you out of the spicy forest with no unpleasant interactions. Yay! So you continue on your journey, and after a few hours, night begins to fall. The herd kind of slows down, and Tamara turns to everyone and says, "I reckon if we rest now, we can probably get there by like 11 o'clock tomorrow. And as much as I would just want to press on, I think we've all had a bit of an exciting day, and it'd be best to just have a little have a rest here and carry on tomorrow morning. Is everyone all right with that?"
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
That sounds good. I did want to ask, Do you have any engineers or enchanters that I could speak to?
I mean,
Herself.
Tamara just kind of gestures at the like group of, 40 odd people with metal horses, and is like,
Oh, I thought you were going to say it herself, and I was like, it's like the How to Train Your Dragon thing, and it's like, you just gestured at all of them.
I have 300 gold, and I would like this hammer to come back to me when I throw it.
oh, I won't charge you for that.
No, it don't. I would
But
like to pay, please.
I wouldn't mind doing it as like a.
I know, but I would still. And she just hands her a coin purse with 50 gold in it.
I mean,
Okay.
it'd be more than that, but sure.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Toz is being tight.
Wow.
I love that Toz is like
insisting on-
so keen to be a thief to the people she doesn't know, and the minute it's like Tamara, she's like, no, please let me pay you, please.
But then also,
She's a rich person.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like you've commercialized their relationship and then you're ripping them off. Beautiful.
Yes, she's a rich person.
Like,
God.
sometimes you're just like so on the
worst.
money. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, where do you think I grew up?
Oof. Oof. Yeah, Tamara kind of takes your maul. And is like, yeah, I can get this to return to you. Just give me a few hours. I'll do it when I'm on watch.
Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Oh, it's well, I mean, I like I say, you didn't have to pay for it, but I appreciate it, and I appreciate you coming to me, and yeah, I'm gonna go do that.
Cool.
now.
I'll go
Right,
see if I can
yeah,
help with dinner.
Cool, yeah. And they just go in opposite directions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, who is taking what watch and with who?
I think Morgan would see about going on watch with Delphi.
Yeah, they're not going to say no. Delphi's like, no, I will never go on watch with you.
I think Raina might
You
want to.
scientist.
I think Raina might want to take one on her own if that's a possibility. It depends how many there are. Because if it's just like 2, then she'll do it with Toz.
There'd probably be like 3, but we've also got Tamara, Bree, and
yeah.
I've got like 40 people.
as. Yeah,
Well, it doesn't matter who she does it with. She's just not going to probably.
she's not
be
going
in
to
a
chat.
Talkative mood.
No, that's chill. But yeah, let's. I mean, would Toz want to do it with somebody specific? Tamara,
No,
Raina, Iona.
Toz is pretty chill. I
Okay.
think she's kind of happy to do her own thing.
Okay, well, why don't we have Raina and Toz doing a shift together and Morgan and
Okay.
Delphi doing a shift together, and then we'll leave the NPCs and Ellie won't have a conversation with herself.
I was waiting for you to be like, why don't we put Toz and Tamara together?
Oh no, look at me being mature and not like...
We can have an awkward conversation.
You already had one of those.
Yeah, we're gonna have
one of
so many more. Listen, me and Am awkwardly flirting at each other. Absolutely quality content.
We don't need to do a podcast for
I
that.
don't know if you can call what I do flirting.
Listen, buddy, I don't know what flirting is. I don't understand it, and I don't intend to.
Big boo.
Shall we?
Yeah.
So, Delphi and Morgan, you two are taking the first watch. So everyone else is settling down for bed, and the sun is beginning to set.
Yeah, Morgan is going to kind of go and sit down by where Delphi is and like start to do something like monotonous or something like resorting her magic components or something, and kind of sit there in silence for a little while. And then if Delphi doesn't say anything, she's gonna supremely awkwardly like clear her throat a bit and say, so I noticed that you were a little bit weird about your parent and family things, and that is a thing, and I don't know if I get it, but I might get it a bit. So if you ever did want to talk about things, I would be willing to listen if you wanted, or not if you don't.
What do you mean?
I think this is the least smooth anyone's ever been.
What do you mean by weird? Like, I know what you mean by weird, but what do you mean by weird?
I mean, he seemed quite keen to talk to you and catch up and keep in touch, and you seem to not want that very much.
It's... Well, I'm sure you... I'm sure you have parents.
I do have parents, unfortunately.
Unfortunately?
They're a bit... It's fine. We don't like each other, we avoid each other. It's fine.
I care about my dad very much. He is very important to me, but he worries and he threats and he is difficult at times. But you know, it is fine. He will be fine.
Well,
it will be. We'll sort it all out, and
okay. Well, it's good that he cares.
Yeah. I'm guessing your parents aren't so involved.
Not in the way that I would want for them to be, I suppose. I don't know. This is not me, this is you. We're talking about you.
God damn it, you still has a plan to move the conversation on to themselves.
I don't know. Maybe he'd worry less if you kept him up to date? Or maybe he'd worry more, I don't know.
I don't know if there's anything that can quell that fear.
I don't know if the conversation trails
do you
off
all
from
want
here.
to leave it there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They don't really talk much more, I don't think.
Roleplay.
So awkward characters roleplay with each other is just the best. Yeah, I say okay, so I think you both kind of trail off into silence, and as your watch comes to an end, you both go to bed, and Raina, uncharacteristically, you end up awake before Tozia is. Probably a little bit early. I don't know. Do you think that you have slept?
Yeah, I think it's probably not been the greatest sleep that she's ever had. Probably hasn't been since, well, I mean, it's only been like 2 days, isn't it? Since she came out of the jail.
Yeah.
Probably not been sleeping too well.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's like not slept at all. Like because a kind of restless sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
I will,
cool.
I guess if it's early before like Toz wakes up, I will use one of my new spells. Level up, baby.
Ooh.
I'm going to use sending because I can send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar. And yeah, it goes across any distance. And because I think it might be relevant, it can go to other planes of existence, but if they are on a different plane, there's a 5% chance that the message doesn't arrive.
Oh.
5%. Oh,
Yeah.
for God's sake.
So
okay.
you might have to roll a dice, Ellie.
I might have to roll a dice.
Well, it's just rolling, and as long as you don't get a nat 1.
Yeah,
you're
Raina,
all
Oh,
right.
yeah,
roll,
you should roll a
right?
dice, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to send a message to the centaur that was in the dream.
Yeah.
Is the plan.
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
Can you remind us of what that is for those of us
Yes.
who haven't listened to the episode
So when
for like
Raina
7 months?
Accidentally magicked herself out of jail by super charming all the police. Well, it sounds really bad when you put it that way, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a back sentence.
It sounded bad at the time,
yeah.
buddy. It was not good.
Yeah, she had a kind of sort of dream state thing, and she saw this centaur. And I think she's sort of been thinking about it a lot because it's like, oh, this was a dream, but then it's like, you know, when you have dreams and you're like this, or maybe even, you know, when you remember something and then you kind of think, wait, did I dream that, or was it real? That kind of thing, and where it's like you can't quite land on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to read the message and then I'm going to roll.
Before you do that, I'm just gonna offer it to you. Do you want everyone else to deafen themselves? Or are you happy for everyone to hear this?
Let's have everyone deafen themselves just to be spicy.
Spicy!
Twice?
Okay,
Fine.
Bye, guys!
you're doing it to us now.
It's not necessarily so much the message I'm sending, it's more maybe what might come back, because they're allowed to reply in 25 words.
Yeah.
So she sort of sits down and she pictures the centaur in her head and says, "Who are you? I saw you in some kind of dream, but I think there's more to it than that. We need to talk, Raina." Which is exactly 25 words because I wrote it about like 2 hours ago.
Beautiful. Yeah, can you roll me a d20?
I rolled a d100. Sorry.
Oh,
Because if it's
That could work
5%,
as well.
then it's just like if you're rolling below 5 or above 95. But I can
Yeah,
do a
but
d20 if you'd
20
rather.
well, hang on. Isn't it 20? Am I...
A 1 in 20 chance. Yeah, a 1 in 20 chance is 1/5, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
a
it's 5%.
Yeah.
Yeah, maths.
I'll do
yeah,
a
so
roll
if you
to
roll
it.
it...
Yeah, it's a 16.
Cool. Okay. So as you send this message out, there's silence for a very long time, and the response you get is strange because at first you get no response. Nothing. Even though the message is sent through. And then you get this sound, and you can tell you're a spellcaster of some degree that this isn't like an intentional message. It's not a reply, and it doesn't seem to be coming from a person. It's more like a kind of psychic residue. And the response you get is a snarling, angry scream. Aces is Am Chisholm, Chloe Elliott, Eiriol Evans, Katie McLeod, and me, Ellie Webster. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Deck of Many Aces. A quick important announcement before we go on to our other usual announcements. Merch is a thing we're looking into. If you
are interested in Deck of Many Aces merch, then please go to our Twitter, and if you look at the pinned tweet, you will see that there is a link to a Google form. We're doing some research into what you guys want from our merchandise, so we're planning on doing some t-shirts. There's nothing set in stone yet, but we are making moves towards making some really, really cool t-shirts, possibly hand printed for you all. And if you could fill out that form, then it would let us know what kind of stuff you'd be interested in. We really appreciate your time, and we wanted to give you all an opportunity to pitch into this. So thank you so much for supporting us and allowing us to make this happen. It's so exciting. If you like the show, please consider leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or a rating on Spotify, or you can log on to Podchaser and leave us a review there. If you've left us a review, please mention it to us on social media and let us know, because sometimes we can't see them if you're from a different country to us, which is stupid and annoying, but there we are. The full soundtrack for the show can be found pretty much anywhere you listen to music. The entirety of the soundtrack is out now, volumes 1, 2, and 3, so that's everything that's been on the podcast so far, with the exception of the Splitting the Deck interludes 1 and 2. If you want to find us in other places on the internet, then I will show you where to look. So first of all, we've got Am. You can find Am on Rendezvous with Destiny, who are wrapping up their 4th season, and they're also planning on doing a roundtable with special guests from our very own podcast, Doma, Cast of Many Things, and Brain Adventures. Keep your ears peeled for that, I guess. Ears peeled, eyes peeled, I don't know. Anyway, you can also find Am on Date Night Drive-In, a podcast she hosts with Will. They've just released their 2nd episode on Casablanca. You can also find her on the upcoming Brain Adventure series, The Defectives Club. Next, on to Chloe. You can find Chloe regularly streaming at Chloe_with_the_flow on Twitch. You'll usually find her streaming on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, playing a large variety of games. You can also find her on The Shattered Realm, a Dragon's Duel production. It streams on Mondays at 9 PM UK time, but if you're not into Twitch, if you're not a fan of watching Twitch streams, then you can also listen to it in podcast form. I've already waxed lyrical to you about our Acast supporter link, which you can find at the bottom of the episode description. Thank you so much for everyone who has donated. It really makes the expansion of this podcast much more possible and much more feasible. It also means that we can cover and compensate the costs that go into this podcast, such as editing costs and just general production costs, which is really nice to be able to compensate the lovely people who help me make this show. Next episode is out on the 18th of March, mid-March, just after St. Patrick's Day. Woohoo boy, that's scary. We will see you all then. Have an ace week. Bye!